What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So if you watched the last video, it was the unboxing video of the SVC front bumper for the Bronco. You can see it over here all laid out. So in this video, we are going to be installing it. So what I didn't cover in the last video is that my Bronco actually has the plastic front bumper, so it's not the modular bumper. I don't have any of the parking sensors, although my bumper is equipped for them. I really just did that for resale purposes. So installation should be very, very straightforward and simple. I do have the bracket for the active cruise control relocation, but I'm not going to need to do that either. So really it's just going to be removing and bolting on the new one, and we're going to be good to go. So it should be pretty straightforward. I do believe removing this bumper, super simple. There's 3 bolts back here on this side right here, right there. We've got to also remove the plastic skid plate for the bottom, and then we can go ahead and install the new bumper.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't.
All right, guys, so as you just saw, we got the front bumper removed. It took under 6 minutes to get that bumper off. Super simple to do. It's just, let's see, it's 2, 4, 6 15-millimeter bolts on the skid plate, and then it is 2, 4, 6 on the actual bumper itself. And then you saw over here on the plastic bumper, you just pull this piece up, which exposes the bolts onto the frame horn there. And then, I don't know if you saw, but I had to reach in there and disconnect the harness for the fog lights right there. I'll go ahead and I'll show you. It is right here where I disconnected it from. So super simple to do. And again, it took a total of 6 minutes to get that front bumper off. So if I can do it, you guys can do it, trust me. So I'm gonna go ahead now and start assembling all the hardware to get this bad boy mounted up there. So at this point, the instructions call for removing the intercooler shroud up there, removing the adaptive cruise control little bracket over here, and then it also calls for trimming the stock skid plate. But all those instructions are for the modular bumper, which has a different skid plate than the actual plastic bumper that's over here. So for the instructions, I'm kind of you know, going with it over here. I did go ahead and just like test fit the bumper up there, and I don't really see how using this skid plate that I have is gonna even, you know, remotely work with this. I think again, that is if you are installing it on the pre modular bumper using that skid plate. But I don't think I'm actually gonna reuse this plastic one because it really doesn't fit like whatsoever. And again, with the mod bumper, these tow hooks are mounted a little bit differently. So I think with the plastic bumper like I have, I'm going to be able to retain these tow hooks up here, because I believe they're vertical on the mod bumper, where here they're flat. So I think those are going to be able to stay in place. So really, I think all I have to do now is just install the bumper back onto here. I mean, I don't think I even really need to remove this plastic shroud up here. I mean, I guess I could if I wanted to, but it's not really hindering anything, and I don't really know what would be the point. I guess maybe to make it look a little bit cleaner and just remove all this plastic from here, but it's not really interfering with anything. I mean, you can go ahead and do whatever you want, but I think as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to leave all this intact and then see if I could get this bumper mounted up without really having to remove more than I need to. If it doesn't look good or there's any parts that are interfering, I'll address that and I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm gonna try and just see if I can get this mounted on there. The instructions do call for reusing the stock bolts onto the frame horn, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I would highly recommend having someone to help you here do this, but I'm gonna be an idiot and see if I can do it myself. So if I get hurt, yeah, don't do what I do.
Anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots.
Okay, so yeah, that was pretty easy to install. Honestly, the bumper is really not all too heavy, and yeah, it's on there. It just takes a little bit of going side to side to make sure you get all your gap spacing correct along the bumper. You want to just make sure you have like a nice tight fitment up there, so it takes a little bit going back and forth just to make sure that, you know, that's all properly secure. But yeah, pretty simple. And so far I've used all the stock hardware. I don't know what I'm using all that hardware for, but I did forget to mention that you do have two bolts down here that you have to connect as well. So it seems like the bolts that were on my skid plate are a little short, so maybe I'm supposed to use one of the frame horn bolts, but the instruction says to use those there. So I don't know, maybe I have to get new bolts or something, because the ones that they supply with are way bigger and they definitely don't even thread into the mount underneath on the bottom. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. But as far as removing the stock bumper and getting that one on, about a 15-minute job, super simple to do. And as you can see, all this is still intact. I guess you could remove it if you wanted to paint like the intercooler, or if you were going to do an intercooler upgrade and it was like really big and you wanted to show that off, then I could totally see why you'd want to remove this and then that would be all exposed. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that. It's perfectly fine. And again, I don't have the adaptive cruise control sensor in there, so this is just gonna stay where it's at for now. But let's go ahead and get this bottom skid plate installed, and once I figure out what I do down there, I'll let you guys know. But so far, looks pretty badass. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and install the skid plate. Since we went ahead and got all of this all nice and gapped evenly, the horn bolts, those are all down now. The bolts underneath that mount underneath to the bottom skid plate, those are all tight now. So for up here, connects in that location here, and then two more down here, one down here. So they give you these bolts with these clips. So you go ahead, so you can see just one of those clips here, bolt. So you slide these clips onto here. So basically that acts as the nut. So we got one over here, perfect. And then you could go ahead and thread that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all those installed. Okay, so skid plate is on, just those 4 bolts. Now we could go ahead and install the light hoop, which goes right up there. So pretty basic, just bolts up right there, both sides, and it is already threaded inside here. So you just take your nut, the screw, screw it right in. Okay, then to finish it off, you just got 4 of these little caps that go right on the ends of where the tubes are. So on the light hoop and then on the actual bumper itself, just push these in there. And just like that, we are done. Super simple to install, I gotta say. Now remember, I don't have the parking sensors on this bumper. I also don't have the adaptive cruise control. So if you have that on your Bronco, you are gonna have a few additional steps. Like I showed you guys in the unboxing video, you see this bracket right here? That is to relocate this bad boy right here up into the grill. I believe it goes actually like right here. So you could still use that if you want to. And again, if you have the parking sensors, those install right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get some caps just to fill that in, just so it looks like, you know, a little bit more complete. I still am waiting for the lights so I can go ahead and install them on here. So that's gonna be a separate video. I'll show you how I mount them on here and then wire them to the auxiliary switches that are inside the Wildtrak. But all in all, super simple in my opinion to install. With this bumper anyway, it's pretty light. You could do it by yourself. Now I kind of want to install it on the TRX as well, but try and get a little bit of a better view for you, but I think it was better lighting inside the garage. But yeah guys, stay tuned for more of the build. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All that stuff's really appreciated. So yeah, see you guys in the next one.